and Reno. You're watching 2 News at 7.
There's just a lot going on. We need to be able to go and vote in person.
You see right there, people are taking to the sidewalks to speak out against Nevada's new mail-in general election law. That story tops 2 News at 7 o'clock. Good evening, I'm Ryan Canada. Ari has a night off. Thanks for joining us. Protesters are making their voices heard tonight about the new mail-in voting law. Protests, in fact, are happening right now in Reno, Carson City, and Las Vegas. We're going to send it now to Jefferson Tyler, who's live at Reno City Hall. And Jefferson, earlier we saw a pretty big crowd behind you. Not seeing anyone there. Are people still down there? Sounds like we don't have his audio right there, so it's still hard to tell if there were folks down there. I know earlier we did see some crowds. In fact, there were about 3 dozen people earlier. You can see them right here. So sounds like some of the crowds just dispersed, but we want to kind of explain further in depth this here. So the people who we spoke to were against, of course, the ballots being mailed out to all voters. That's a part of AB 4, which also allows the governor to make decisions on voting procedures during emergencies or disasters, including events which threaten the health and safety of voters like the pandemic. The law also allows non-relatives to collect ballots.
The blanket mailing of ballots. I know that there's people that aren't on the rolls anymore. They're going to get ballots, but who lives there now? Who's there? Who's going to vote? And how are they going to check them all? It's going to be too difficult.
So tonight's protests, again, were happening statewide, and this was a look at what the protests looked like earlier. Some of them, again, in Las Vegas, Carson City, too, where the crowds got pretty large. Another group, of course, gathered in front of the governor's mansion in Carson City, as you see right there. So AB 4 also sets aside $3 million to be sent on the mail-in November election. Right now, those people are hoping that the protests will convince legislators to change their minds. We'll have to see what happens there.